Yep, here I am, back again, out doing something interesting, and I took you with me.
Any help?
Hang on, let me check. Nope, I'm good. Time to fire it up?
Yeah.
Okay.
Now, I don't know what caught what this guy said in the background, but I thought he said, yes, ma'am, and apparently he said, yeah, 5 minutes. Well, excuse me. Lucky me. I was headed up to Silverton, and as always, apparently, there was construction on the $1 Million Highway. And this guy managed to delay me just long enough that I caught that rain cloud that I don't know if you can see it, but I felt it, and you can see it on the screen. Caught that rain cloud we were sitting under. But yeah, so his 5 minutes turns into our time to sit and do a wonderful little voiceover that I know you guys love so much. If I was better at editing, I could take these out of here, but I'm not. We know that. I'm working at it. I did open a new app that Joe the Mountain Jedi suggested, and I went through a couple of the tutorials last night, but sorry guys, not good enough yet to be able to put a video out using that method. But this is just one of the hazards of traveling in the middle of the summer is torrential rainpour in certain places, spitter spatterings as we have right here of rain, or heat. You know, you get all the stuff. I didn't mind sitting here. I don't think I had my rain gear on. I can't really remember. But anyway, I had a conversation with this guy before I put the bike on the kickstand. It consisted of my usual on that trip out. Hey, if I need help, will you help me? Yeah, no problem, man. Oh, you're on a bike? You're a chick? That's so cool. I love those kind of conversations. But yeah, this delay was about 15 minutes long before I turned on my camera, and I didn't realize it was on here, obviously, or I would have been doing some narration for y'all. But yeah, so here we sit. The $1 Million Highway was pretty cool. It would have been much better had it not been in the middle of summer, and yeah, well, had they not been doing road work every time I turn around. This was by far not the worst of the stops on the road trip construction thing, though. Yeah, well, we'll get more into that later. But if you've got enough time to stop and take pictures of the scenery when you're being delayed by traffic, yeah, that's rough. But I notice that every year, whenever I travel in the middle of the summer, there's always construction. It's kind of just a fact of life that you have to get used to if you're riding in the summer, or, well, I guess any time of year for that matter. But anyhow, I think we're almost ready to get underway, if I remember correctly. Not so much. Hey, while we wait, why don't you go ahead and hit that like, comment, and subscribe. You know, all the things. Yeah, all them, while we wait here. Go ahead, go do it now. I was watching a documentary on the Silver Dollar Highway the other day, and yeah. Oh, I read that there was a couple of reasons for it being called the Silver Dollar Highway, excuse me. One of which related to its cost. And yeah, thought that was interesting.
All bad for this.
Watching documentaries is one of my big deals, and I really enjoy doing that. So then I'll go look and see if it's someplace I could ride to. But I don't know if you caught that or not, but we were lined up first vehicle in line, and no guide car in front of us. Usually, if it's going to be really a hairy section, they'll put a guide car in front of you. So I was much happier not to have one, but the guy did not do me any favors letting me be the first person in line, other than the fact that I got to shoot a lot of oncoming traffic coming at me. And you can see the rain continues, and what you don't see is off to the side of this shot that there is a fire up in Ouray. Am I saying that right? Ouray? But anyhow, yeah, so there's a fire. And as we're climbing and climbing, I start to get a headache. And I start to get the dizzies. It's a real thing, altitude sickness apparently. And I was consciously reminding myself all during this that I needed to take deep breaths. And yeah, I had never experienced altitude sickness before, but when I got up to Silverton, wow, it was a thing. I had an episode where I just pulled the bike over and I was a little bit dizzy, and I walked into a store and I mentioned it to the lady, and she's like, oh yeah, you need a can of that stuff, that air stuff. You people that don't come up here, you have a lot of problems with air sickness. And I'm like, oh, okay, so that's one thing my research really didn't tell me. The shop that I happened to walk into was the Harley shop, because it was the first place I rolled up to in Silverton. And God bless that lady there. She was just there doing some books and stuff, so she technically wasn't even open. Nicest lady though. So she let me in. She sold me a can of that air she was talking about. And you know, you never see a Harley shop that doesn't have some souvenirs. The one up in Silverton is like a lot of the little pop-ups in Sturgis. It's just gear and stickers and yada yada yada. So I bought a t-shirt, some stickers, and some canned air, and took a phone call that scared the crap out of me. What was that phone call, you say? Well, I'm getting to it. Hang on. It was a phone call from my area code. I didn't recognize the number, but I went ahead and answered it anyway. I don't know why. I don't usually, because it's just somebody wanting to buy my house, but I answered it. And it was a lady, and she was asking me if I had a little buff-colored Pekingese little dog named Bubba. And I said, yes, I do, as a matter of fact. Just about this time, somebody else had their dog stolen, their Pekingese, and I just freaked. You know, I think it was probably a combination of relief of getting out of the construction zone, a little bit of altitude issues, and a lot of, oh my God, my dog, you kidnapped my dog, now what? But she had not. This very nice lady that lives down the street from me saw Bubba wandering out on the street, unaccompanied by his adults, and snatched him up and called the number on his little tag. This is one of the reasons I always have a tag on my dog's collar. But anyway, she explained that she was out unaccompanied by his adults, and I gave her my address, and she said, well, what if I get there and there's nobody there? He's obviously out by himself, and he's made his way out, and I don't want to just leave him in the yard. Somebody could steal him. I agreed with the lady, and so she took him to my address after I told her, well, you know, my grandson's going to be out looking for him, and you can take him to my neighbor across the street. Shout out to my neighbor across the street. But anyway, he had made his way out through a gate that did not latch and decided to see the sights unaccompanied by his adults. Yes, I know. He still tries to do that anytime he sees an open gate. He will run. And do you think that little snot will come back to you when you call him? He will not. You have to get in the car, open the door, and say, treat, treat, treat. And right now he's going to think that he needs one since he's sitting right here next to me. So I should probably go get him one. Oh, he can wait till I finish this, right? Anyhow, I hope you guys have enjoyed this. I had a great time on that trip. It was the first solo trip out on the Road King. And it was a little bit nerve-wracking because, you know, getting used to a bigger bike. And I think I've gotten used to it now because I can mostly do things unassisted. Yay me! But anyhow, I did get out on the Dyna the other day, and it was kind of funny because I hopped on it, went to take it off the kickstand, and almost threw it through the other wall. Well, not really, but you know, when you're used to a bigger bike and you get on the lighter bike, it's kind of funny. But anyway, I hope you guys have done all the things. Like, comment, subscribe, hit the bell, share with your friends, share with your enemies. I'm still trying to get to that magic 500 number, and I'm almost there. I hope you've enjoyed this trip down the scenic $1 Million Highway heading into Silverton. I know I sure did. Yep, the Road King is a special kind of beast to travel on, and I'm so thankful to Easy Street Custom Cycles. I'm also thankful to Indy Ridge for all the cool gear they give me. And as always, I'm thankful to you guys, the people that sit and watch this through to the end. You are still there, right? wrap this up pretty quickly and leave it to process since I'm way behind the curve on getting ready to have this thing processing. So yeah, like I said, like, comment, subscribe, hit the bell. And I hope that you enjoy this enough to share with people. You can share it with people. Hey, look at what this old woman's doing. Yeah, I know. But yep, 2021 Road King with a stage 2. It sounds so good. Every once in a while I forget to do the voiceover because I'm just busy listening to it. I love to listen to this bike, which is probably why I have a little bit of a hearing problem in my right ear now. Not too much, but just enough that I'm trying to get myself used to wearing earplugs. I've got a couple of really nice pairs somewhere. Yeah, that's another day's video. I'm going to start cleaning the garage, and I thought, why not do a live stream while I do that? I don't know. Well, probably because the last time I tried that, I got distracted and I wound up just chitter-chattering with people. And it was cold out, so I wound up freezing, because it took about an hour for me to realize I had no plan for that live stream, and you guys were kind enough to hang in there anyway. You could go back and watch it. It's on my channel and available for you to view if you would care to do that. Okay? Okay, no, really, I think I'm almost done. Yep, I see the end credits. Here we are. Bye, guys. And I will see you next time, okay?